Hello and welcome to the Orchard of the Macabre, otherwise known as Necropolis 4. Some of these quests can be a little bit tricky to get to, but in my opinion at least, nothing like as bad as the Chains of Flame, for example, in the Desert Sands wilderness. We're sitting here having just taken level 16. We seem to be on a mad rush all of a sudden after dragging our heels through the rest of Gianthold. That was that and the Archons chain I was doing. I did the two remaining ones in the level 13 Archons chain. What are those two called? I'll put them on the description anyway. And finished off Gianthold, including the Tor. The only one I didn't do in Gianthold, as I said, was the Crucible, which I just tend to lose the will to live in there. Let's have a look. Trials of the Archons. So we had done Demon Assault, Devil's Details and the Archon's Trial. We did all three of those in the Shavarath area I showed in the previous episode. So yeah, just freshly taken level 16 with the enhancements. As I mentioned in the past, I'm trying to build back up into this Pale Master tree. The big one will be the I'm trying, hopefully this will coincide with us getting the mass hold. We have another 4 points to spend. We need to put 11 into there, so it should work. Mass hold comes at 17, so next level I think, and we'll get a +2 there on enchantment spell DCs if we take the right option, and +1 on spell pen, both of which will be very useful for mass hold. And I think for this disco ball, does that have a spell pen check to it? Yes, it does. Otherwise, I've been toing and froing about this putting a spell-like ability spell on the bar, haven't I? And I'm convinced there's some kind of a bug here. So I'll discuss what I found out in case it can help any of you out. Spell we took at the level 16. I added a couple, but the only one we're really going to try is this incendiary cloud. Why that? Well, I can see it being quite useful. It's got a decent duration. It does damage over time, over quite a long time, longer than the Tempest does, and things can be blinded if they fail a save when they enter the cloud. So it's all good for us, you know, fighting inside there, unless of course it makes the visibility for us as well so miserable that I can't see what the hell I'm doing. But I'm liking using these AoE things to, you know, to tick away on things as we're fighting, to do extra damage and to thin the field, especially if we've put some kind of crowd control like the disco ball in there as well, although you could argue that might be overkill. So I haven't tried the incendiary thing. My feeling was I could perhaps use it when the Tempest is on cooldown, and if we're going from group to group, hit one in one group, one in the other, just to give us a extra shot in the arm, damage-wise maybe. I seem to be preferring that kind of thing, the damage over time, to just lobbing a big, like a delayed blast fireball in there, or later on I guess that would be an acid well. You could argue the Tempest has similar effect to that, but hey ho. The other thing about over-reliance on those big AoEs is that our spell point pool is certainly not the biggest, and if I suddenly started throwing fireballs and acid wells all over the place, I think we'd run out very quickly. we rely on that spell point pool for our both offensive and defensive buffs, as discussed in the last episode. The death or know the angles, haste and displacement, which are both giving us more damage and a lot more survivability. So that's my priority with the spell points, not sort of flashy kill the things as quick as possible. You might have seen the little thing I did on the Locania demonstration to change a feat. I was thinking about the mental toughness really doesn't give us that much for this build. We're not really doing much with spell crit. I suppose you can argue the damage over time things, the Tempest would benefit, but it's only one spell crit. So I figured why not change it for Maximise. I don't know what the Epic holds in store for us, so I don't know if we might have a spell-like ability in there or not. That's running us on nicely to this this magic missile thing. So I've put it back on the bar. This was one of your advice, or more than one of you, I think, gave me this advice from very early on. So let's just discuss for a moment what there are quite a few things like little boosts this tree gives, dependent on you triggering certain abilities in there or casting a spell. So let's just see what those are or what they're supposed to be. So on a spell cast, we're supposed to be able to get from this Force's Point ability, you see the martial bit, we're supposed to be able to get up to +5 to hit and damage. Now I can tell you straight away, when I'm using a normal spell like Fireball or Ice Storm or Tempest, these kinds of things do trigger that and it does display on the screen. If I use this SLA magic missile, it's very hit and miss, and usually more miss than hit. You'll see in the quest we're about to do, it very rarely is displayed on screen as Force's Point physical. It just nothing displays, and nothing displays up here in the buff bar either to say that you've got the physical side of it. So that's a bit unfortunate. But the thing that does work, I've checked that this when you cast an offensive spell, you gain +1 competence bonus to critical threat range for 12 seconds. That does work with the magic missile, so I need to remember to keep throwing that in at regular intervals, usually when we approach a new group or a creature, and just keep throwing it in. Ideally, we'd keep throwing it in all the time and get this stack of Force's Point. We could end up with +5 to hit and damage, but in practice that's not how it's working, unfortunately. You have a look when we do the quest and see if you can see something I'm missing, but I don't think so. I tested it on its own without doing anything else, and it seemed to work alright in a normal quest that I was doing. So maybe it's something to do with Reaper mode that breaks it, or maybe it's something to do with the fact I'm building up all the stacks of the magical side of the Force's Point by doing a lot of melee. I don't know. But to me that's not working anyway, that bit. But we are getting this +1 critical threat range. I've checked on by going on our weapon, and that does display when you've cast a spell. So what else do we get? That's the spell casting side. Using the Eldritch Strike, which is the first core in the tree, that gives us it gives us all sorts, because it combines with the stuff on here. You can see there's a load of stuff there and more stuff there, all to do with the when you activate the, well, some of it's permanently on, but a lot of it is to do with when you activate the Eldritch Strike, and then you get a 30-second buff. I've itemized it all, and it's very significant. Plus 30 spell power and 3 spell crit damage, 3 to hit and damage and double strike, 20 melee power, and this bit at the top here is giving us 2 on our enchant DCs and 4 spell pen, very important for the mass hold success. So it's hugely important that we keep throwing in this Eldritch Strike at regular intervals, and there's no reason why not. It's a good cleave attack with an elemental boom after it, so yeah. We've also got the action boost spell power plus 30, which because of this enhancement in the tree is also giving us plus 30 melee power for that 20 seconds. So anything that boosts spell power is boosting our spell sword imbue thing, so that's good. But extra melee power is just gravy on top, so I need to remember to keep hitting that, and this double strike thing, the Reaper boost. And if we run out of those, we need to go on to the melee power boost, which has come from the human tree. And the last one is the attack in here, the tier 1 attack, Arcane Siphon. So it's a pretty decent melee attack, only single target, although maybe with our strike through it might end up hitting 2, I don't know. But gain again plus 30 universal spell power on hit for 20 seconds, so that's another one. It's on the bar, I throw it in at regular intervals, keeps the spell power boosted nicely. So our standing power is something like 300 for acid. I'm willing to bet by the time we've finished with all the plus 30s and whatnot, I bet you we're into the closer 500 than 300. Is that a bit overly ambitious? Let's say closer 400 then, on the conservative side. But it's still damn decent and well worth keeping those things going for. So long story short, I'm going to try to keep hitting this magic missile in and amongst all the other things, just to really give us this extra crit multiplier. I'm pretty sure it's not working that well with the hit and damage, but you can see if it flashes up. It should. You'll notice when we make melee attacks, we get this forces. What's it called? Forces point magical flash up. Is that right? Yeah. Forces point magical, so that boosts the universal spell power, another thing that boosts the spell power, which is helping our imbue. But when we do the spells, we should get the physical side of it, and it's just not coming up with that spell-like ability. But that's the reason that I've kept waffling on that we need to do these, because there are significant power boosts associated to them. Not just that they're good attacks in their own right. I've added the Sonic Blast on. It's a level 1 spell because we were lacking a double range thing, you know, just for attracting enemies' attention if we ever need to, as I was crying out for something like that in the last quest that we did. So that's on there for convenience. I found another one, Innovation, which is a level 4 spell, but that's more expensive, and as I'm literally only using it to pull enemies to us, I'll stick with that one, I think. What else have we got here? Maximize I mentioned. Yeah, I wish I could say I'd messed up on that maximize thing deliberately so I could do the demonstration. Sadly, it's not the case. I did notice, because the other 2 quests in the Archon chain both have Abishai in them. Now, well, I knew anyway that they were immune to, I think they're immune to acid, fire and cold, aren't they? but the electric damage was at least doing something against them. So that's the one to go for if you're in a Abishai heavy quest, at least in my findings. I think that's about it for the waffle. So I chose this one this time around because normally you need to find, you need a source of fire AoE and ice or cold AoE to succeed in here. They get used, if you haven't done this quest before, it's the Inferno of the Damned it's called. It's basically in two different dimensions, and in one dimension you need to light the torches with the fire, and in the other one you put them out with the cold, as I understand it. And you sort of work your way around the maze, which can be very confusing initially, and certainly was to me, and end up back in the middle and face the end boss. I will try and discuss what's happening as we go along. Hopefully we won't be dying. Oh, and the first thing I've done, I haven't picked up the quest, have I? Oh my god. Yeah, well done. That's just absolutely typical of me, and I can't redo this to save my blushes, because I've lost then 20 minutes of waffle, haven't I? Marvellous. Right. It will give me a chance to try to help you avoid another pitfall in this area that I have fallen into. There are separate quest givers in here, a bit like in Gianthold, for the heroic and epic versions of this. Now these must be the epic ones because they're not lighting up for us, so where are the heroic ones? Down there, I guess. Is it these? Yeah. Yeah, that's the... Is that the raid or the pre-raid or something? And then we've got... I just want the Inferno. A lot of these you're probably better off doing... No, that's the wrong one. Probably better off doing with at least two of you. There we go. Pick them up just in case. Because some of them have... two of them in particular have pretty unfriendly to solo mechanics. Where is it? Necropolis. Oh, I can't do that in a public area. Oh, alright. Can't I teleport myself? Oh, self only Necropolis. There we go. Yeah, one of them has a load of runes, I think maybe 5, that you have to hit more or less at the same time to progress the quest at the end. And the other one has a mechanic a little bit like the Tempest Spine, Fire and Ice, if you've done that one, where you have to kill the two at the same time or they will respawn. Or the giant and dragon couples in the Gianthold Tor, if you've done those. And the problem with that is that they're in two different rooms on two different levels, and unlike the Fire and Ice, I don't think you can drag one to the other. So it is helpful for most of this chain to have more than one of you. Which is why, for a long time, I didn't do anything with this. I had the pack, but I was getting lost in the wilderness and just really having a tough time in here. That said, if you can learn them, these are big XP quests, so definitely worth running. I would say for this one in particular, it's one of those that you'll spend an hour in to start with, thinking, oh my god, this is terrible, let's just get out of here. And when you finally do it for the first time, it's one of those, a bit like the Chains of Flame, you know, a proper feather in your cap, and you just think, yes. So, I'll probably make one or two mistakes myself along the way, but the main thing is to remember the general direction you want to be going. There are 2 dimensions, as we say. We're in the fire one here at the moment. We're going to go anti-clockwise. We're going to sort of loop round all the way down to the bottom, the middle of the south area. And then we're just going to retrace our steps back to the top. That's the plan anyway.
A hoarse voice echoes through the stones. Seek the Black Abbot's cultist, sunlight streams.
So remembering to throw the AoEs in. Traps, not good. Okay.
Intense heat radiates from this focus of dark.
Now be careful with those portals, because if you hit, this is the whole mechanic in this quest. If we hit the portal, we get transported to the other side. If we kill the portal, rather. There you go. Oh, now we're in the flame side. We were in the non-flame side, my bad. So when killing opponents, if you have an AoE attack like we do with this strike through sword, try and stay away from the portal unless you actually want to teleport. So I hit the portal there because the way would have been a dead end otherwise. So if you're faced with a dead end, go to the nearest portal and see if that can see if you can make some progress in the other half of it. So now, as you can see, with dead ends here and here, we're going to go down here to this portal, smash that, and progress on in the other instance. So we want to be in the middle of the bottom, and this is where our first set of torches are going to be found. Okay, so these, we just want to set fire to them. We don't want to put them out again with the cold. So a fireball, and every time you get all 4 lit, the boss comes. I'm forgetting to do the magic thingy spell, aren't I? So you can't see if it's being effective or not. Right, we go back to the portal that we just came through. There, see, we didn't see any forces, anything, or no indication on the buff bar. Nothing happened there. Let's do it again. Still nothing. Now I'm wondering if that's because we've got the forces magical up at the moment. See, there's clearly nothing happening, but if you look on the sword, can you see at the top there, Forces Edge, Physical, Competence bonus to critical threat range. So that side of it is working. I just don't think we're getting the bonus for the hit and damage that we should be stacking up for using the offensive spell. It's still well worth throwing in for the threat range. A cheap thing to keep that threat range going. So we're going to retrace now back the way we came. Which means at some stage we have to smash a portal. Do we have to smash that one? See, I'm not sure, so we just go on here. We need to be going... We need to be going up there. No, we didn't need to smash it, so I got lucky there. Oh hell, maybe I didn't. Okay. So we're going right as far as we can go down this section now. To the portal. We're going to go through there. I can't stress this enough. Be careful around the portals because you can get your party separated if you break one by accident and one of you goes to the other side and the other stays, that kind of thing. So same deal here. We're going to go back to the torches here. Light these things up. Oh, we would have done if we'd have hit it properly. There we go. Okay, now back to the portal and we'll come back to these torches to use the cold attack on them. Can we collect that soul? Thank you. Trying not to let my buffs run out. So you can see the torches are blue. We want the ice storm now. There we go. I could switch to fire here. I should have done that for the... Oh no, nothing happening there, is there? That's no good. Acid. Did we get him? Yeah, okay. So, back the way we've come, I think we need to smash the portal again. Oh crud. Is he going to stay down there? I bet he's not. He is now. Sadly. Can I just go through the portal and leave him there? That would be my plan A. Okay. 7, 6. Now, do we have to go through that one? Yes. So we've done the. Let me just show you on the map. We started there. We've gone all the way down to the middle of the bottom, all the way back up there, and we're going to go round here now and circle round the other way and end up in the middle again, and then just go back to the centre room. So we're working our way back round to the south. Don't touch the portal. The portal did smash there, but I wasn't sufficiently close to it to... I'm gonna go the wrong way again. I've dropped down into here. There's a secret door here. Another portal. Don't touch the portal again. Okay. So same deal again here. We've got another set of torches to do. Can we try cold? Yes, that's more like it. It's a good example of more proactive thinking. So why didn't the fire work against the hot one? Against the cold one rather. Let's try that again. Go back through the portal to get the cold torches. Oh, hang on. Who's shooting us? Oh, you're up there. Can't do a lot about that, can we? Let's try. So, is our fire going to work this time? It's not doing, is it? I think that's a bit harsh. Maybe I should have left it on cold, I don't know. It does say Flame Guardian, I suppose. Maybe I was being silly there, I don't know. Okay, so he's gone. We don't go back through the portal. We jump up this little section here. Be careful, it gives way a bit at the top, said he, demonstrating amply. My Mario skills are shockingly bad as well at this game. Yellow alert, I haven't moved. So are we going through there? We would be going down this way, wouldn't we? Through the Tempest down there just to thin the field a little bit. And you can see it's very effective at doing that. Okay, I think there's some torches in here for us.
Alight the flames to bring forth the guardian.
Okay. Cold. Nice. So now I think we need to hit the portal again to be able to go on, don't we? I don't think we can go... Can we? Oh no, we can. My bad. We can just go straight on. So we're going into the south middle area again. Need to portal because we want to go through there. Okay. You, sir, are not welcome here. Those are, though. Are we healing? Have we got the healing thing going? No? Okay, come on. Put these out. Now, does the cold work against the cold-looking flame? Let's find out. Yes, it does. Okay. So note to self, cold against all the flames. And then all you do is go round into this eastern room here. In fact, looking at this, I should have had the cold on permanently, shouldn't I, in here? Live and learn, eh? So last ice storm. Oh, he had an extra life or something going on there, didn't he? Right, okay. We'll keep the cold on for the end boss. Although I think he's a bit different. He's in the central area here. Let's put a couple of defensive buffs on. Let's make sure we have everything on that we should have. We don't, do we? Let's hope we can do enough damage to him. All the boosts in. Oh yes, so it is cold all the way through for this one. Noted.
The Cinder Spawn accepts
Nice
your
one.
loathing
Nice one.
and agrees to aid you against the Black Abbot.
Okay, so this is one of these quests that's definitely the challenge is a lot more in the finding of the path, I would say, than the the difficulty of any of the combats or anything like that. And don't forget you can get scrolls of Fireball and Ice Storm in the game. So if you don't have the means to cast them, but do have the UMD for the scrolls, pick some of those up and you can do it that way. Save yourself some spell points as well. Otherwise, I thought we did okay there. Never looked in too much trouble, and definitely the cold imbue there was the way to go. This has been one of the nicest features of this run through to me, that we haven't just had to choose an imbue. We can swap and change at will. I think it costs you 5 mana, but what's 5 mana? And just change it to suit the situation. So if, unlike me, you're better aware of what is good for the situation, you can really have a fun time with that, just swapping and changing during a quest as the situation requires. Right, I think that's about it for that one. Thank you very much as always for looking. Hope you're all having a good weekend, and I will speak to you soon. Next one's the big one, the level 17 and the mass hold, when we'll see at last whether my strategy is viable or not. Okay, see you then. Take care.